First of all, I wish to thank you for all of you to coming here, and sorry for not speaking Russian or Ukrainian. I was sitting whole day here and I had a wish to learn some of Russian, but sorry, with no success still. But maybe in some next time I will be in possibility to speak some Russian.
Thank you for not challenging us with German.
Yes. One thing again that I'm very impressed since yesterday when I came for the first time in Ukraine, in Kyiv. It's my first visit here. I'm surprised with such a big community that has interest in the blockchain and this part of new technology and new hyping around the world. I'm coming from Stuttgart, from Germany, exactly. We are such industrial valley. Most of the main player on the car scene of the world, like Mercedes, Daimler, Porsche, are placed and produced in Stuttgart. There are also some other companies like Bosch, worldwide known, and some others. And that is not only an industrial part. We are delivering also a blockchain there. Because last year, both of those car producers has already tested blockchain in their vehicles. Mercedes has developed a crypto coin that is on 500 vehicles, has already tested inside the Baden-Württemberg area. And also a Porsche has embedded a blockchain technology for the authentication inside their vehicles. And I hope in the next electrical model of Porsche will be published officially. Also, do not forget from Stuttgart also the first introduction of stock exchange. The Stuttgart Börse has already developed a solution for hyperledger, for hybrid blockchain assets transferring on the scene. Why I'm talking about interoperability? Maybe some of you has already known what is interoperability. Also, I had so many discussions in the last few years about interoperability, and most of them says, yes, we know that, it's already done. Yes, a few years ago, Vitalik Buterin has also mentioned that in his papers about interoperability, but I'm not talking about that. I will push my story a little in some kind of history. What is this about? Or why is this about? You know that this is just a simple cloud with text, with many possibilities for use in the marketing or academia or any other part. But if I told you, I see here the world population, what do you think about that? You will say, yeah, how? We have so many billions people on the world, around the world. Each year, 82 million people, newborns, comes on the world. How we can just with a simple cloud text represent it? People can talk to each other. They have a language. But what's about here? About the technology, when we are discussing about technology, about digitalization that comes in a rapid last 10 years approximately, we have a problem. There is no common language, still not a common language, around the complete digital ecosystem. There are some definitions. Interoperability, or you can find on the Wikipedia E14Y, it's a short word. It's a degree to which two or more systems can usefully change meaningful information via interfaces in a particular context. What that means that so many tiny words inside hidden. It's a degree, okay, we can exchange something between two parties or more parties. But useful, what means useful? If we are just exchanging information without using them, they are really useful. We are talking about useful information that are ordinarily directed from one part to another part. Also, interfaces, we are in a particular context. Not all contexts should be interoperable. There are some meaningful contexts also. From the real world to the abstracted world, to the digital world, we are converting our real assets they are using every day in our daily life, in abstraction, in the digital twins from IoT or any kind of digitalizing, and represent them in a value. We are transferring them into the value. What are the values? It's a data, nothing else. And in that point, the interoperability comes as an ability of system, information system that exchange information to work together with another one or with more than another one. What are the levels? After the simple explanation about or definition, we have to go some deeper. And then, what are the levels? First of all, we had in most of the definitions, we have just 3 of levels. I will tell you 5. First of them is a legal. We cannot bypass the legal. Although the interoperability is now everywhere explained about the legalized side, we cannot bypass this legal part because the environmental law about the policies that we need for all procedures that we use in a daily life and cooperation agreements. At the cooperation agreements, we firstly met some that the blockchain could stage on with his smart contract and some liabilities. The second, foundational, allows data exchange and does not require data interpretation. Just simple data exchange. No one has particular needs to have a meaning of the data, just to exchange. Data foundational data exchange and interoperability between 2 or more parties. The next one, structural. The message format standards. Meaning of the data is preserved and unaltered. The data can be interpreted at the data field level. It's a pure blockchain. It's a pure blockchain. On most of the websites where they are talking about interoperability and description, they mentioned the structural interoperability, but no one says, yes, that's it. We have already used it. In both in a public or a private public blockchain. Private or the public blockchain, no matter which one we use for our solution. It should be extended with, with semantic part. The meaning of the information, the meaning of the data, because the data are oil of our life. We produce the data on each step. We are going everywhere with our mobiles, with our handies, without any devices that we use, with our vehicles, with our cars, driving, talking, doing in the kitchen, talking with Alexa, Siri, or any other device that we use in our daily life. The data exchange and the codification of data, including vocabulary. It's also part of some blockchain useful, already used solution. And at the end, technical interoperability. It's nowhere mentioned in the literature. There are some, just 2, I will show you the 2 points in the complete literature that I found that is mentioned as important. Let's talk about accepting data from each other and perform a given task. The sentence probably does not sense. But performing tasks according to some information that is exchanged is also part of the blockchain. The second, satisfactory without the need of extra operator intervention. What does it mean? Decentralization. It's a pure decentralization. It's a really a blockchain applied into the interoperability. So directly. There are two definitions. I don't want to read it. One is the first one is you can see the year 2004 and 2006. It's really pretty old. It's nothing new. One is according to the European Internet Foundation, and the second one is from European Telecommunication Systems Institute. They are talking just about information system and nothing else. That's all that we can find as a definitely like a definition of interoperability. No one further that in our daily life that we need to pay attention about that. There are some lackness or leakages or obstacles. I don't want to read all of them. The list is much wider, much longer, much bigger than that. I have just listed some of them that we find every day on our daily duties in some of documentation or during the performing some simple tasks in our lives. Some communication about task analyst, source complexity on IT domains. We already know that. That's a worldwide obstacle. Possibility of interference. It's a really, really big problem still in our lives, in our technology and digitalization. Difference in architecture platforms, pretty clear, and so on and so on. Conflicting standards and so on. I don't want to read them. I just want to proceed with next. It is also legal aspects of interoperability. The first one we mentioned previously on the topic about the layers of interoperability. We cannot forget that someone from the legal part should also agree with interoperability, that we can perform it inside our digital ecosystems. Does interoperability matter? Yes, it matters. It matters. Because we have many different networks. I didn't say computer networks or such any other networks. We have so many networks, social networks, digital networks, across various ecosystems in our lives. There's so many networks. They are different. They cannot so simple talk to each other. Maybe they can, but not fully. They have the full potential to transfer from one side to another side. There are no standards for interacting between them. We have to agree. If we agree that 1 meter is a measurement unit, we also have to agree for some digital values. We didn't have yet. We have from bitcoins in the crypto values, so many ICOs, so many cryptocurrencies. We have to agree about unique value that we can transfer as an asset representative. But from another part, it's one freedom for the developers and the coders. At the moment, we have more than 45,000 blockchain repositories on GitHub. Can you imagine how many millions or billions lines of code this exists already? More than 6,000 platforms are already on the market. Are they all interoperable? Are they able to talk to each other, to exchange the data? Maybe yes, maybe no. We have to think about that. How do we get interoperability? First, we have to get out of the silo. All of us dealing with ICOs, with the cryptos and so on, we already know that, for instance, Bitcoin is still in the silo. Many others still are in the silos. we have to broaden the silos. We have to make it open, to get the possibility and to give them possibility to talk each other, to communicate. There are so many possibilities for interfacing them. One of them is a universal or open network protocol. It is already mentioned and in daily news. You can find it. It's a really protocol that helps us to make interoperability and stage on the next better level. It's a instant convertibility of smart contract. The smart contract is a methods or machine or a value that we can exchange between the parties and automatically execute it, the value proposition. And it's a solution. Foundation architecture and the unified blockchain operating system. Especially the unified blockchain operating system is not so easy to establish. Maybe one of platforms that we have already, like Ethereum or Hyperledger or some Corda solution from RT, maybe will be in the near future some unified or some traceable operating system for the blockchain. The another part is how we can get the interoperability is enterprise collaboration. Enterprise is a specific story. There are also standards and the protocols. They are transferring only the data inside a small part of the network. We have also to open the enterprise. We cannot put the enterprise also in the silo. Although the enterprise is need to be in the silo from another point of view, but it also should be opened and get more public, so we can put the blockchain on the top of our umbrella of digitalization. Advanced cross-chain functionality, multi-chain frameworks, enabling exchanging data assets, exchanging arbitrary data. There are also the parts of already used things inside a blockchain. And that means that most of the parts we have already fulfilled successfully to have interoperability in the blockchain. Some of the parts that I mentioned should be, and I hope will be in the next period, successfully implemented inside the blockchain, and I hope the blockchain will be the instrument of interoperability. I will just, on the short, show you one example of solution of the interoperability, how it works inside the blockchain real life. It's a tourism data exchange. At the first we have data acquisition. We have geographic content data, tourist operator data, and also the client. 3 different actors inside the ecosystem. All of them producing the data. The second part is a datafication. I have put 2 different conglomerates inside one part, inside one step. Large stream processing that collects and analyzes data with a big streaming part, because the first 3 of them produces large amount of data. It's not only a name and surname and my ID. There are also the GPS data, the GIS data from some particular areas. It's an imagery that we are making pictures during our travel. Can you imagine how many Google pictures have stored already elsewhere on some storages when you are just picturing? And at the end, the third part are consumers. The consumers could be providers, clients, institutions, government bodies, anyone who needs the data from that cycle. Let's go a little atomic. The first one, the data collection from various sources, from geodata, from geographical data. It's home devices, wearables, any tiny parts of our digital devices that we can wear, take with us, make a picture, and produce the data. Also the operator data, the brochures, catalogs, any offers that are presented from the different operators. And the client data, my wishes, where I want to spend my holiday, for example. We have to put that on under the digital sign and encrypt it and put inside the network part that make identification. I have already showed you the identification. It's particularly IoT data, applications, databases, stream processors, analytics, and operator data. And the most important part is the blockchain. Is somewhere in the middle. It's not central point. It's just a part of the cycle. Because we put the blockchain with decryption and authenticate inside the datafication cycle. The process which make a complete client index history that produces unified or unique identifiers, normally time-stamped inside the blockchain is normally, and tourist control data. Tourist control data, that means the people that use that. The whole process looks like that. The process is already tested. Proof of concept has already passed, and last year published by University of Tourism in Malaga in Spain. It's not a PowerPoint, just here is a PowerPoint, but is already producible. What are the benefits? We know the benefits. I have just listed them. Thank you for your attention.